Hey guys, welcome back to Software Inc. where today we're in the new building and we're going to actually break this down a little layer by layer. But I want to just briefly say to you, this building you may recognize from one of the oldest series on the channel, from the new revitalized channel of course. There's a lot more videos than that. And this specifically, to be very specific about it, is literally a very old building. And it's one we built a while back, so if you recognize it, cool. This was V3 of the building. It's changed a lot since. It got bigger, and that was the problem. So I went with V3, so it actually fit in the environment. And as you can see, it's got a lot of capacity here. But we're not going to use all of that. As a matter of fact, this is the only room currently occupied, I believe. The rest are set to no one. And then we have up here, our lead is in this office. That's it. A lot of capacity to expand though. So with that said, you might be asking yourself, hey Dan, why this building? Well, I wanted something small, simple, and not, gonna make the game lag and have the whole map, chaotic. And as you can see, it's pretty small actually. Not the smallest building on the map, I don't think. Well, it could actually be, but this entire corner over here is probably in itself bigger. But anyway, let's go over this. So we have our own car park here. This here is the only car park we have. All these spots are finite. Times that by 4 per spot, and that's how many people we fit here. Not a lot, I'll be honest. It's plentiful. Then we have the pathways leading up, and you can see the green lines where they connect. So hopefully the AI will map and follow the pathways. That's my goal with this, so they follow the actual crossing lines. As they then go into the building, we have a dual reception building. I do believe, and if I go out this mode and go down, I seem to be already in. We only have one side that's slightly different to the other. I'm not quite sure what the hell happened there to make that the case. But there's a lot different in one building than the other. But I'll deal with that at another time, I think. Although my OCD is killing me, actually. So as I explained that, in the canteens, as I'll show you in a second, we also have fridges instead of chefs, as you can see here. We've got a bank of fridges on each side, capacity of at least 400 people in these fridges. I've left these here just so they're there, and this also removes a fire hazard by just using a boatload of fridges. And I said a different word then to describe that, but I went with boatload at the last second. Then we've got 4 elevator access points. They're the smaller elevators just for simplicity, so their capacity exceeds 20, whereas we could have a 41, but in total it's 40 in an area. Stairwells as well, going up and down. It actually looks like the stairwells didn't copy perfectly, so that could be a legal issue I need to tackle in a minute. Ooh, I do see. We'll tackle that in a minute. There's gonna be some changes to the building evidently. And as we go to the top, and I'm gonna go straight to the top, on this side we have a big server array. They're all combined to a 168 gigabytes per second. And then on this side, we have all the lead designer rooms, and obviously CEO will be in these two here if I ever have a CEO and whatever else in here. This is where our current CEO, me, is though, because he's also a designer. He's got his very own fancy office with room for trophies on the wall and a plentiful bookshelf with a slot at the top to add stuff if ever so needed. And then we've got these shelvings here. So with that said, we then just have the basic rooms. So let's just go to this one for sake of it. Set to anyone. These are set to empty so no one can use them. Let's say we go here, right? 2 teams in both these rooms, right? They have 1 shared meeting room. So hopefully they'll map that they can only use this one. In the last series, we made it so they could only use this one. And they'd have to split their meeting times. The number of chairs in here is equal to in here, if not more, I believe. You know what? Let's put that fact to a test. It is indeed. So there you go. That is the new build. Now I'm quickly going to do some changes to make it appropriate, and then we'll be with you in a second. So we're ready to actually begin our day here in the building. So we're going to let time go. I'm unaware of who's going to come in necessarily. Everyone's coming in. Great. We're going to call in temporary cleaning, maintenance, and IT. While I then arrange for the permanent staff. So we're going to have 3 cleaners every set of hours worked in. Then we'll have maintenance in those last hours along with IT. And then we got to tackle security. Now security I'm going to hire, I feel like 10 would be reasonable. So that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Is that reasonable? Yeah. If I hire one more, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 11, that's fine. We'll just get one of these different. There you go. Okay, and then these are at 1600. Okay. Let's check that number actually adds up. Yep, cool. So there we go. That's our staffing right there. Okay, so we currently are not the biggest brand out there, and I aim to change that today. We are nearly at $500 million, so that's cool. At least we did spend a lot of money today, as you can see. Let's try and avoid spending much more. Tiny things I changed in between. I started the pattern work on this, assigned this, attached this, just so they were done when I remembered doing that, because otherwise I'd have forgot when I was setting up the building. And then obviously we have fixed the stairwell issue on each floor, so there's always going to be stairwell access. Why the game makes their heads into blocks, I'll never understand. I know it's some optimization engine, but let's let time go. And let's just see what gets done today. So the rooms are now assigned as well. So this is core, sorry, research. This is core, and this is empty, and then this is game dev, which we haven't really founded the game dev team yet, I'll be honest, but probably going to want to at some point. So let's bear that in mind. Do that real quick. I'm actually curious, how many people are on core? I feel like it's 60. 48, 46, sorry. Oh lord. Do we not have enough chairs for them? We technically don't. Well, core gets 2 rooms then. There you go, core. And then this is only core's meeting room. Let's make sure it knows it's a meeting room for meetings. So core has 2 rooms now. That's great. Means they've all got seats they can sit in at least, and hopefully that won't be too problematic. Legal is going to have to be a thing, in my opinion, if we want to get these patents going a bit more efficiently. Because patenting right now is pretty slow. That's ever so abundantly clear. I'm going to promote that. And tomorrow that can get some bug work done. Update for you is going fine. That's nice to see. We can probably stop marketing that. And you. And you. That's fine, that's fine. I don't know why we're marketing the others. Made no sense to me, that. Okay, people are coming in. Let's see how efficient we are now with cleaning and stuff. So we've got at least 2 people each entrance any time, I'd like to believe. And 2 on the cameras. So the cameras I've added in. We've got 4 plus 2 here. So the literal entry point, you are not getting in there without being seen on one of these. In theory. So anyway, let's go to me. I have a neglect of training needed. Yeah. Okay, and then I'm gonna select all, and we're just gonna kind of blitz through this. Oh my god, that was a good employee, wasn't it? Okay, that's just automated by clicking start all them. Lost sales on Pioneer. They sold out. Oh my god. Right. Spent 3.5 million on just getting more in, I guess. Might as well. Oh, right. Pioneer's clearly selling out. It's like 2 million a day, to be fair. It's not the biggest thing on the planet. Let's try and get the next Pioneer moving though. Hopefully the next Pioneer will have the same benefit, but I'm going to make some changes here. Surround sound removed, widgets removed, unified removed, multitasking keep in, move that, and that. That's lightening the wasted interest. And if I, in fact, even did that away, right? In theory, yeah, I've got enough interest just behind me to get it done. In that sense, and I've been contemplating doing that, to be honest with you. That's fine. And then we do it at $11 a month, $11 a month. That's fine. I don't like factoring out a lot of stuff like that, but we're gonna. And then we're also gonna need just to do that. Analyze it again. Apply. customization is being neglected. We add that back in, that'll bump it up a little. Add that in, that bumps it up a boatload. Add those two in. That's doing it pretty well. Then balance it a bit. Remove one maybe. I remove both and put in about leveling the load, I guess. That looks fine. That's more equal. Okay, cool. Does that change the pricing though? No. I'll leave it as is. They need a source control, which is server 0. I'm going to rename that in a second. Okay, that's getting designed. I need to rename that server. So let's go and rename that. I'm going to call this the AI Group Live Server. Okay, so far there's nothing on there that's like really pushing the known boundary. I mean, it's got 3% load on it, which is pretty decent. Oh. Okay, you can go out. That's got us our 6 star. That's perfect. Skip to the next day. Okay, we've got a lot of staff coming in, working as always. Nice to see. Look how many floors we got as well. Bear that in mind, like, we've got a pretty good building here. So I'm happy we've got this series kind of in the bag, I'd like to imagine. Always cool. Okay, what we're looking at. Grammatic 3 is practically dead. Don't think there's much I can do to resurrect it necessarily. Nor is anything I'm going to do to resurrect it, because I don't think it's a worthy endeavor. To be blunt and honest. Oh, cool. Legal. Have fun. Legal can have some fun with that. I'm going to actually hire some lawyers, I kind of guess. How big's the legal team so far? Whose team is the legal team on? Hold on. Oh, my guy's no longer HR? What the... Oh, he's on holidays, only technically speaking. 4 legal reps. 5 legal reps. I'm going to hire however many more I can get onto the research team. That is a lot of legal reps. Oh well, there we go. Plenty of legal work there then. Then that actually seems pretty good. They didn't have any major negatives to them. Do you have a lead? Did they get rid of the feature we can see it as HR? No, it's just hidden. Work this out. Let's address this. Is it because you're away for 3 months? Yeah. Actually makes me question who's leading this. I am. Oh, that's why stuff's so slow, because I'm away and everyone else is hovering around like they're on a boat. Right, let's work this out. Hello, legal secretaries of the world. There you go. And actually indulge me. Is this assigned to both teams? Yep. That should be pretty quick now. Yeah, I was expecting a bit more speed. I was optimistic, I'll admit. They've all got inboxes. Now, I could change those inboxes out for headphones and tackle that issue, but weirdly enough, employees tend to take those with them if they resign, retire, leave, or get fired in general. Big issue, and we're back to fire inspection. Oh my god, it's going to be nerve-wracking. We're going to have at least a violation somewhere. There's going to be something, I think, in fact, the stairwells could be an area of concern for the fire inspector. I don't know how the fire inspector will look at the stairwells, but I know I would be a bit on the fence of their suitability of their job. Okay, let's do that. The first pioneer somehow is interesting to people. Don't know how. You are buggy to Kingdom Come. Or you. Right, let's let those things get fixed for now. Grammatic 3 is almost done. They've got a lot of work on their plate, to be fair. That's waiting on the lead. Why is everything waiting on a lead, eh? Also, is it making me physically, like, have to sit through the whole night right now? Why is that? Okay, give me a second. Right. I come back to see that as an issue. Oh, this is cool. So we can kind of see where the violations are. So the canteens are missing fire alarms? How the hell did that happen? That's actually... Oh, I know why these rooms are missing them. I can already know why that is. Whereas with these, I really don't know why it's missing them. And the ever so loved stairwells are an issue as well. Who would have guessed? I think the vending machines are my only refuge for that. Was it on the inner? Yeah, it was on the inner. Okay. Oh, do mean to put you there? This should mean we pass the inspection if I call them in again. Once all these areas get their ever so needed work. Oh, this is another area that I need to re-examine in a sense. Because otherwise it's going to look a bit dodgy that one side of the building has a bank of toilets but the other side doesn't. I think we've tackled the fire issue. Always fun. We're going to the, it should be insurance and coverage, call the fire inspector. Perfect. That's that done at least. Yeah. Got our first inspection and it's a new build. Oh my god. To be fair, actually that's not too shocking, but it's not anything new. It is a version iteration that was from, I think, before. It was in between the fire updates, essentially, the original build. I don't know how it skipped past the inspections in the other times. I think it might have been rented out, actually. At one point, I might have had it as a rental that I could rent. Therefore, kind of explains how that got under the radar. But that might explain why we have these two non-occupied rooms. Doesn't matter. So the toilets I'll have to replicate over on the other side, which will be fun. He says very sarcastically. Release that. Let's release that. Let's release that. That's cut away a fair few bugs. Only thing that should matter, and I did change the priority on this, by the way, for those curious, is this. Right. Why am I like having to watch through midnight constantly? This is where, yeah, that's why I should be able to just skip. Is it worth me having a night team? Because it feels like I need one at this point. Ooh, that's a lot of salary money. Jeez, and the legal team as well. Little legal. Not going to call them the word I want to call them. Right, finished that. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, next year. I read that and I was like, they're going to be patented this year? I was like, gee. Somebody's ambitious. Do that. Get systems in the bag. Nice to see this game worked on, actually, so I'm going to cancel that. Let that get worked on. Because it is kind of behind. I don't want to push it knowing it hasn't got the update yet. But I do want to get it out fairly quickly. It's probably going to be late, to be fair. But I think it's reasonable that we get marketing on board and making a release. As always. And I feel like it should be... December? 95 December or... I don't know. What I do know is we need a new iteration of you at some point. So let's get that on programming's plate. I kind of want to rebuild the teams as well at some point, just to be kind of blunt about it. It is something I've been considering for a while now, because I need an even split on what technicalities they have covered and industries. Because you can have a whole industry behind networking and a whole industry behind the actual hardware and the 2D and the 3D. If we had one of each on the teams, in theory, or at least two of each, is probably more reasonable, we should be good. Whereas in reality, we're seeing here, App Store's taking forever. It's always fun. And he's getting help from the other team right now, which is doing us the favor that we need. Develop that. The code is going into that now, and there is no artwork in that. Because we've peeled back the layer, and I'm actually going to rename it slightly. I'm going to call it Light, L-I-T-E, because in a sense, it has been made more friendly for users because it's a smaller OS. You know, if we start selling like a 6GB OS in the 1995 era, not many people can always afford that. Whereas we sell a 100MB one, then that's should at that point be reasonable. I feel like if my history understanding of that era was right on target, I kind of feel like that should be reasonable. You know, I'm kind of curious, because that's actually an interesting question, you know, how much storage did people have in 1995? You know, I mean, the answer is around 500MB to a gigabyte. Yeah, so my standing of 100MB OS, probably reasonable. How's that actually looking on the server side? A beefy piece of software? It's not even on there yet. What the hell? It's not beefy per se, but it's definitely a big file per second. Not the most enthusiastic thing to see, but at least the servers are handling it. That was a worry of mine, that we'd soon need better servers, which 2000s, I mean, these have got to do pretty good, otherwise, you know, it's an issue. Did we pass the fire inspection? Oh lord, lordy lord. No, we did actually. Oh, we did. We can actually insure ourselves, and it seems the way insurance works now is different. We got rid of the slider for coverage amounts, made it possibly simpler. Nice. Let's put 50 million in a bond, like so. We'll release the announcement of this. We'll do a press build as well, and we'll announce that it goes out in, I'll say, August of 95. There we go. That gives us a whole year and a bit to do some work on it. In fact, pause time again. Get me some hype behind it. On marketing, they need to work on another press release. Right, so, okay. Chromatic 3, we're going to cancel marketing in entirety. I'm also going to cancel these if they're not getting sufficient users. So AI Guardian 2 is dead in the water. Those Chromatic 2, I'll fix them, but I'm not going to guarantee service provided to them at this point. So it seems that should be done by now. So let's give them a boost on that, hopefully. Everyone went home before fixing that final bug. Kind of reminds me of the story of the Solitaire bug. That whole story of why Windows Solitaire Solitaire on Windows wasn't in some of the builds, and I can't believe that someone actually made a conspiracy theory on that on YouTube, but believe me, it was funny as fuck to watch. Well, they always are. Right, how are we looking? Oh, you're going to be really pushing more up a hill, but I'm happy we got rid of all the other features that were not necessary. Although we have gone very cloud focused now. I'm hoping that pays off. Because if it doesn't, somebody's gonna have to be hanged. To be blunt. Okay, finally, put that out. Get me some feedback on it. Where are we having noise issues? Outside the building? Well, where's some headphones? Or invent some if you don't want to buy them. Other company won't mind funding a pair of headphones, eh? Not like we're only at just 500 million right now. Right, having a computer on subscription model, I want to kind of touch on this. That just incentivizes me keeping them on the platform, because in a year they'll pay as much as they would have paid for the license. Roughly, they'd have paid the same amount. Not always the same amount, but a year and a half and they would have easily. So, just balancing the books on that. Some people may only use it for 5 minutes and go, ugh. Some will likely use it for a very long time. And the refund amount is a lot less. And that is far better for us as a company. And it will make us long-term money, because as you can see on even this, there's a fair amount of people, they're just paying into this company. Even on the original people. Just done an update for something that didn't need an update, didn't I? Oh, I guess, welcome, here's an update. File size, 0 kilobytes. Probably a single byte on it that just says the date. Well, not a byte, but you know what I mean. A version, file type, and byte of the bytes that say the date and the author and other stuff. We've got some people retiring. Ooh, very interesting. It's fine though. I think we shall wrap this up here though. So as always guys, thank you for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed. As always, feel free to leave a like, subscribe, have some comments in the comment section below or feedback, and hit that bell icon with notifications when you subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Goodbye.